German verbs can be tricky, but separable verbs, they are like verbs with a secret double life. And today in this video, we are going to crack the code of separable verbs in the most fun and easy way possible, with stories, real life example, and zero grammar boring talk. So let's directly jump into the video. Let's start with the question, what are separable verbs? Separable verbs in German are made of two parts, a prefix like auf, an, ein, zurück, and a base verb like stehen, kommen, rufen, and so on. And guess what? In normal sentences, they split like this. Ich stehe auf. Ich stehe auf. Instead of saying aufstehen, like ich aufstehe, you say ich stehe auf. So the main verb is aufstehen, then you have to split them in between and you have to say it like ich stehe auf or du stehst auf. As you can see, the auf jumps to the end. Here's a mini trick for you. Think of it like a Lego verb. It breaks apart in a sentence and reattaches in others. Now let's go through some most common prefixes. As you can see the table, on the left side we have the separable verbs here, in the middle we have the prefix, and on the right side we have the example sentences. So let's go through each of them. So at first we have the verb aufwachen. Okay, aufwachen. Aufwachen basically means to wake up. Okay, and as you can see the prefix in this case is auf. So that means you have to split them between auf and wachen. Okay, as you can see in the example, ich wache auf. Ich wache auf. That means I wake up. Okay, let's go to the next one, which is einladen. Einladen means to invite. Okay, in this case prefix is ein. Ich lade dich ein. Ich lade dich ein. That means I invite you. So einladen means to invite, and if you want to invite someone, you say ich lade dich ein. That means I invite you. Then next we have anrufen. So anrufen, in this case we can see the prefix is an, and as you can see you have to split the verb in between an and rufen, and here we have the example sentence, ich rufe dich an. Ich rufe dich an. Anrufen basically means to call someone. That means ich rufe dich an means I call you. Then lastly we have zurückkommen. Zurückkommen means to come back, and as you can see prefix in this case zurück, and that's why you have to split this between zurück and kommen, and as you can see in the example, ich komme zurück. Ich komme zurück. I come back. Now let's learn some common separable verbs, or known as in German Trennbare Verben. So at first we have the verb aufstehen. So aufstehen means in English to get up, and here's an example for you. Ich stehe jeden Morgen 7 Uhr auf. Ich stehe jeden Morgen 7 Uhr auf. I get up every morning at 7. As you can see, you have to split the verb in between, and then at first you have the verb stehe, and you have to conjugate the verb like the normal sentence structure, subject, verb, object, and that's why you have ich stehe, then the object jeden Morgen 7 Uhr. Then at last you have the prefix. Okay. Hey, sorry for interruption, but if you have just started learning German and want to pass your A1 and A2 exam as quick as possible, like in just 1 or 2 months, then my fast track programs can be a good suit for you. You can find them down below in the description. Now let's get back to the video. Let's continue with the next one. So ankommen. Ankommen means to arrive. Der Zug kommt 9 Uhr an. Der Zug kommt 9 Uhr an. The train arrives at 9. As you can see, subject der Zug, and as you can see we have conjugated kommen to kommt because der Zug is masculine, and for masculine you say kommt, and then at the end we have the prefix an. Next we have einkommen. Einkommen to shop. Ich kaufe am Wochenende ein. Ich kaufe am Wochenende ein. I go shopping on the weekend. Next we have Fernsehen, to watch TV. Abends sehe ich gerne Fern. Abends sehe ich gerne Fern. That means I like to watch TV in the evening. Next we have mitkommen, to come along. Willst du mitkommen? Willst du mitkommen? Okay, in this case we have exception. We can see the main verb mitkommen with the prefix, we wrote it together instead of splitting it in between. The reason behind that is we have already used a modal verb. If you use a modal verb like müssen, wollen, können, sollen, and so on, then you have to write the entire separable verbs together. You don't have to split it or take the prefix to the end. You just write it together. So that means, do you want to come along? Willst du mitkommen? And next we have aufmachen, to open. Kannst du bitte das Fenster aufmachen? kannst du bitte das Fenster aufmachen? That means, can you please open the window? As you can see, in this case also we have the moral verb können. That's why we use the entire verb here. We don't split this in between auf and machen. You just say it together. Kannst du bitte das Fenster aufmachen? Then we have zumachen, to close. Mach bitte die Tür zu. Mach bitte die Tür zu. That means please close the door. Then we have einladen, to invite. Ich lade meine Freunde zum Essen ein. Ich lade meine Freunde zum Essen ein. That means I'm inviting my friends for dinner. Then we have zurückkommen, to come back. Wann kommst du zurück? Wann kommst du zurück? That means when are you coming back? Then we have aufhören, to stop. Hört mit dem Rauchen auf. Hört mit dem Rauchen auf. He's quitting smoking. Next we have anrufen. Anrufen basically means to call someone. Ich rufe dich später an. Ich rufe dich später an. I will call you later. Then next we have weggehen. Weggehen means to go away or leave. Ich gehe jetzt weg. Ich gehe jetzt weg. That means I'm leaving now. Then next we have losfahren. To depart. By vehicle, okay? Wir fahren 8 Uhr los. Wir fahren 8 Uhr los. That means we are leaving at 8. Next up we have aufwachen. We already covered it. Aufwachen basically means to wake up. Ich wache jeden Tag 6 Uhr auf. I wake up every day at 6. Next up we have ausgehen, to go out. Wir gehen heute Abend aus. Wir gehen heute Abend aus. That means we are going out tonight. So these are some most commonly used Trennbare Verben or known as separable verbs. If you want to access this document, you can find it down below in the description. Now let's go through some real life fun examples. At first we have the morning routine. And let's see how you can use separable verbs to describe your morning routine in German. Okay? So at first we have ich stehe auf. Ich stehe auf. That means I get up. Then ich sehe mich an. Ich sehe mich an. That means I get dressed. And finally, ich gehe aus. Ich gehe aus. I go out. These are some basic sentences you can make with what you have learned previously. Now let's do the same thing with the dating scene. Okay? At first, ruft sie an. Ruft sie an. That means he calls her. Then lädt sie ein. Lädt sie ein. He invites her. And finally, sie kommt mit. Sie kommt mit. She comes along. As you can see, the first separable verb was anrufen. Then the second one was einladen. And finally, the last one was mitkommen. Now let's understand when do we separate the verb. In main clauses or regular sentences, the prefix goes to the end. For example, ich stehe auf. As you can see, the prefix goes to the end. Or if you say ich ruf dich an, then also an, the prefix goes to the end. On the other hand, in infinitive form, it stays together. For example, ich will aufstehen. Ich will aufstehen. That means I want to get up. As you can see, this is a moral verb. Können, müssen, wollen, sollen. These are some moral verb. If you use any moral verb, you have to just write it or use it together. Okay, you don't have to split it. And here's a pro tip for you. Moral verbs like will, kann, möchte, keep the verb whole. Now it's your turn. Practice with me. Fill in the blanks. Ich dash, dich dash. In this case, let's say I want to invite someone. So how do you fill up the gap? Ich dash, dich dash. The answer is ich lade dich ein. Ich lade dich ein. And the meaning of einladen is to invite. Next we have he wants to get up equal to will dash. Okay, in this case you have to guess which verb should we use. And we can use will aufstehen. Okay, will aufstehen. I see many of the new learners make this mistake that they exchange the verb between aufstehen and aufwachen. These are two separate verbs. Aufstehen means to get up and aufwachen means to wake up. Both are different. If you just wake up, you can use the verb ich wache auf. And if you're getting up from the bed, you say ich stehe auf. And with all of that, now separable verbs are no longer scary, right? So that was for today. If you enjoyed this video, give a thumbs up. And if you want to get more tips like that, you can subscribe the channel. And if you want to deep dive into German grammar world, then you can check out this playlist where I cover all the essentials grammar rules in German. See you in next video. Till then, take care. Bye bye.